Hello everybody, this is Juntas. Today we're going to be retesting some Act 5 Mercenary weapons. First of all, I want to say that it's good to be back after I had my little break from the channel. Now, Crescent Moon. Some people suggest this one along with other weapons on my last one I did for the Act 5 Mercenary, but sadly, as you can see after 10 pages on JSP, I just wasn't able to get this one. And I think that also kind of, shows a little bit about how popular in general Act 5 Mercenaries are. When you can barely even get, the better items for it, let alone these quirky items. So yeah, if somebody has ever tested Crescent Moon out on an Act 5 Mercenary, I would love to know, because again the static proc is pretty interesting. And it does have some enhanced damage as well. Right then, let's cover some gear. Death Colossus Sword. I was still not able to get this one in a blade, because blade attacks a little bit faster, which would be preferable. And then I also managed to get an Executioner Sword. Breath of the Dying, not the best base, but still decent. And then the last crown of the jewel, the one that I'm banking on to be the best one, Last Wish. If this does not perform the best out of all three of those, I'm pretty surprised. We can just quickly take a look at Last Wish here. The Might Ore is obviously very good, also just for boosting your own damage. Enhanced damage very high. Ignore target's defense, that's definitely gonna help on normal mobs. It's not gonna work on bosses, but it's still gonna help on trash. A lot of crushing blow. Yeah, and hits blind target, prevent monster heal, sort of fun procs and whatnot. The chance to fade is also pretty insane, but yeah, that's the weapons. Now I need to talk a bit about attack speed just really fast. Yeah, I just need to find it. Yeah, there you go. So this is the Executioner Sword, the slowest one of them. And yeah, I was kind of thinking, could I fit in Gulliam's face with like the Breath of the Dying, since that also has the life leech on it, but I ended up just thinking that Andariel's face or visage would always be better on every setup, just because of the increased attack speed going all the way up to 35% with an increased attack speed dual in it. And yeah, some other decent stats on it as well, but it's mostly just the attack speed. And of course the life leech on the setups that doesn't have life leech on it. But yeah, I don't think there's much more to say than that really. Of course we're also using Fortitude, and I did get a Sacred Armor and decent enough defense on it, so that should also be covered. But yeah, I'm pretty hyped to see Last Wish now, because I do believe that it has a potential to do okay damage. And even just helping out your own damage, which I can just quickly go to Cold Plains to show. I just need to get Whirlwind on, there you go. So this is the Whirlwind damage now. And with my Greaves on, which is of course a little less damage on the sheet, but still, we can just quickly show it here. Yeah. Let's see, 1.14. Oh, just need to remember the keypoints. There you go. You can see it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it's still like 100 max damage, which is pretty sweet, considering everything. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for just having Might Aura on a weapon alone. Very well then, the first weapon, Last Wish. I went ahead and procced the Fade, which happened in about a minute's time, so it wasn't too bad, even if it's only, that small 6% chance. But yeah, just kinda, think about proccing Fade before you kinda get a heated combat if you're going to try out Last Wish on a Act 5 Mercenary. Because as soon as it procs, you are obviously pretty damn tanky on this Mercenary. Also, another quick note, I'm not gonna be using the buffs, battle orders and whatnot my Barb has to boost the Mercenary. I just don't really feel like that. But let's see. We'll just try to kinda see. Oh yeah, it also comes with Stone Skin. Honestly, that's actually pretty decent, considering it had Stone Skin as well. That's not bad. I would say that was pretty damn fast. Let's head down a bit again. Let's see if we can maybe tank some archers, because that's probably gonna spawn quite a few. No, it's not that sort of map. Oh yeah, sure. Let's go and test out it on some archers. if it can tank archers like this one, you know, it is hell difficulty and everything, it is pretty decent survival. Even an Act 2 Mercenary can have trouble surviving ranged mobs that are just firing at you from a far away. And even I can. It does hurt. Honestly, it's tanking pretty well. I wouldn't say the leech is great, since considering it only has 10% leech and it doesn't attack that fast. But yeah, this is pretty decent. Let's see if it can like one-shot them or so. Yeah, that's pretty much a clean one-shot from those archer mobs. Let's go to Shank and let's see if we can clear out some trash mob fast. Just kinda try to count down the time, see how fast this goes. It's like 10 seconds now. Yeah, you can just kind of see the attack speed is not that fast. Again, the base that I have, the Colossus Blade, I think it's okay as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but yeah, I'm just kind of getting used to the Act 2 Mercy Chant. But you saw there, Shank the Overseer, like 2 free-shotted, that's actually quite okay. So yeah, pretty damn satisfied with this result. So maybe this will be the best setup out of all 3 of those I'm going to be showing, but let's see for the next 2. So next up is the most amazing weapon, at least looking at the stats. Death. I used this on my own, you know, normal setup with 1 grief and 1 death, and I really just like this weapon. It has so many good stats. The only problem with it is, of course, that it doesn't have a life leech, which is not that great for, you know, a Mercy Chant, but then you can get it covered with Andariel's Visage. Yeah, again, it's in a sword, so it's gonna be a little slower than a blade, but it's still okay. Yeah, Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow. Let's go for this. Oh, it's a bit stupid as always. Yeah, as you can see, just instantly. I wouldn't say it's slower, not by any means, but like you can just quickly, like this one is not even stone skin, it's just like hammering on it for like 10 times. It's not even one-shotting these enslaved ones. Ah, Last Wish with the Might Ore is just so good. But yeah, let's head down a bit again and see if it can perform. Let's see if we can tank a few spears. I definitely do take a bit of damage from it. Another thing is also a Last Wish, the fate, you know, when it procs, it stays up for like many minutes, and yeah, it's just very good. But let's see about this death here again. The Deadly Strike is pretty interesting, I will give you that. It has a potential to really do some unique damage in that regard. And yeah, if it had life leech on it, it would be a pretty decent option as well, because then you could use Gulliam's Face. Okay, let's see Shank here. Wonder why he's already that low health. Man, his lightning ore must hurt the Mercy Chant just a bit. But actually the leech is pretty good. I'm pretty surprised by that. But again, I think the attack speed is just enough to kinda, you know, live decent enough. I kinda wanna test this out a little bit more. Let's see if it can handle something like a, you know, Worldstone Keep area. Oh man, it's getting blown up and it stays full health. Okay, the leech is actually good. That was a bit of a surprise there. I think it was like 2 or 3 of those mobs that blows up. Let's try to find a few more mobs before we can kind of conclude if this is, you know, just decent enough. Okay, Black Souls with some explosions. That should be fun to see. Okay, now it's definitely, yeah, okay, that's definitely the limit. But as you can also see, the resistance are not, you know, as good as it was with Fade on. Lightning is almost capped above 75, but yeah, it still hurts with tanking Black Souls. And like again, an Act 2 Mercy Chant could easily tank this one, at least if it's geared pretty good. But okay, it's not like it's dying. It is staying, you know, up there with you know, you being able to react to its health and maybe feeding it a life potion or something. So if you happen to have like a death, you know, sword just because you maybe used it on your own setup and you kind of want to experiment around with it, I would say it's a decent alternative to Last Wish, which is again a little more expensive. I mean, you can look at this death rune word here and just see the runes. Like if you play ladder, it's a ladder only rune word. It's not even that expensive to make. I would go as far as saying it's not expensive at all. The biggest problem would probably just be finding a base that you would find the runes to be worthwhile in to kind of spend on. I think a 5-socket base is maybe a little hard to find that is like good enough to spend, you know, a Vex and Ghoul rune in. But yeah, let's see about the third one. So time for the third and final setup. So I was looking again a bit about attack speed, and I did end up change out Andariel's Visage with the Gulliam's face. Breath of the Dying does come with 60% increased attack speed, which means it hit the break point that was like, yeah, let's see what it was. It was, yeah, all the way down to 6 attack speeds per second, or 357. So, I mean, maybe I could get also an increased attack speed duel in it, but I feel like the duel that I have for my Barb is actually pretty good as well. So yeah, getting a bit of extra resistance and wonder from this duel and damage. Anywho, Breath of the Dying, a lot of leech, a lot of stats, kinda just overall a bit tanky. Minus 50% target defense, and I believe that stacks the more times it connects. And yeah, it's also a pretty good roll, almost 400%. And yeah, you know, the poison over when you kill an enemy is also kind of fun. It looks flashy. But let's have a look at this one. Now the attack speed should definitely be faster, there's no doubt about it, should be able to attack faster, but will it also, you know, hit harder? That is definitely a thing I worry a bit about. So far it's leeching amazingly well, look at all the archers. Man, it leads so good. Yeah, the leech is just, let's see if it can stay up. Oh man. It's just beautiful to see that it doesn't die against all these archers here, and it clears it out. You know, beforehand with Last Wish I was able to like one-shot mobs, but now it's like 2-shot or something. Yeah, a little less damage, but I feel like it might leech better. But yeah, Fate proc is just gonna make it all more tanky, I guess. But let's see about the damage again down here. Okay, it's actually getting close to one-shot these enslaved mobs. And if not in one-shot them, it's definitely close. I love the poison over proc. You know, once I actually had a Breath of the Dying bow when I was, yeah, still figuring out how to make a bow Amazon, I suppose. But yeah, that was actually a pretty fun thing to just look at. But like, damage is there. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with this setup. So let's see if it can survive some blow-ups again, since I was able to find the pack again. With a bit of souls too. Yeah, okay, a massive amount of leads from that 15% really does make a difference compared to 10% for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with this setup as well. Okay, this is a nasty pack. And I have to be careful myself as well. Like, you see the health is dropping, but it just leeches so fast when it does connect. It's really good to see the leeches being this good. You know, I'm starting to question then if Last Wish is even more tanky than this setup. Alright, let's wrap this one up. It's hard. I was actually so sure that Last Wish would be the best performer. Again, Last Wish comes with Fate proc. It has a level 7 Might Orb, which also helps your own damage. Ignore target's defense always on, so it's gonna, you know, connect more of the hits. Crushing blow is also higher, so it's gonna do more boss damage, definitely more boss damage, there's no doubt about that. But like, I think, you know, my philosophy behind Mercenary has always been that it should support your own build, your own characters in some way, and might just be, you know, the tipping point where this is always gonna be the best choice. However, have you seen the runes to make a last wish? It's so expensive. I think this is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive rune word to make. So yeah, it's definitely more of an in-game choice. And then Death, it has all the right stats for like an offhand weapon together with, say, a Grief, or for whatever reason if you don't want to dual Grief. But yeah, on a Mercy Chant, I'm not really sold on it. Yeah, I just don't really think the proc is that good as well. The Glacial Spike, it does have a bit of crowd control going on with that one. And the bonus to attack rating helps a little bit, but like, ignore target's defense minus 25%, or the full stat is better than raw attack rating. Yeah, it doesn't have any life leech, and the crushing blow and the deadly strike is also not that high, but it's still okay. But yeah, I think Death, we can definitely say that Death, while it's also not expensive to make at all, you pretty much just have to find a Vex and a Gold Rune and a base. I don't think it's better than even the third option that I also showed, Breath of the Dying. Now you can also see that Breath of the Dying is actually pretty doable to make as well. It doesn't cost a lot. It's pretty much just finding a base you want to spend the runes in. Bit annoying to have to both find the Vex, yeah, and the what's it called, sword. But I'm not really sure if I can say that it's still better than Last Wish. However, it really did surprise me, the survival with Breath of the Dying, and also just all the other stats are kind of cool to have. And the Poison Nova, while it doesn't do a lot, of damage, it's still pretty cool to see and look at. And you know, +1 for cool points, that's definitely a thing. Another thing is also just it has a lot of life leech, and again that survival is really good, which means again that you can use Gulliam's Face, which just makes maybe this one the highest damage setup that you can actually get on a Mercy Chant. So keep that in mind. Again, Gulliam's Face, just look at the stats: faster hit recovery, that's gonna, you know, improve its defense, gonna make it more tanky, whatnot. Crushing blow, deadly strike, all those sort of cool things. So yeah, if Last Wish didn't have Might Aura, I would definitely think that Breath of the Dying is the best setup for an Act 2 Mercenary. But again, this is my opinion. I would love to know if you have any, you know, thoughts about this topic here. Have you even tried any of these setups before? What was your, you know, experience with it, and is it even worth it? Cause like Act 5 Mercenaries doesn't come with an aura like the Act 2 Mercenary does. But yeah, I think that pretty much rounds it up. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.